All right, friends, one more video, man, before I call it quits. It's going to be on JasonBlaha, Strength and Bullshit Fitness, the lifting gym slave fitness gym lifting slave. Muscle fiber growth may be the only factor in strength of each individual. Muscle fiber growth may be the only factor in strength of each individual muscle. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's that domain ended, okay? Ended with MND size.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about emerging data that we have. And
you know he's watching my videos because he's now mentioning the stuff that I'm talking about because it's fucking bothering him.
And the science that is looking at size versus strength and muscle growth. And what I want to be clear, there's a lot of bad exercise science. Right?
It is size versus muscle. You mean lifting strength? Lifting strength. Look, man, when a lady lifts a car, a 6,000 pound car off a child, that is an emergency. She gets an influx of this hormone called adrenaline. She lifts up a 6,000 pound car. Is she fucking strong, man? Huh? Is she strong after she picked up that car? You think she's gonna be strong? You gotta be fucking nuts, okay? It's a chemical strength, okay? It's temporary, in case of emergency. These are adaptation processes. That's what your body does. It adapts rapidly to a situation to get you the fuck out of it. But you want to build muscle for cosmetic purposes and do weird things like lift heavy weights. You want your body to do circus acts, when in fact it is unnatural to do any of these things. You understand me? It's unnatural because you wouldn't be doing these things in nature. Shit. So your body adapts to these crazy circus acts that you're doing by compensating you with androgen receptor strength, maybe some myofibrilar structural damage so that the muscles don't get damaged anymore and interfere. A bunch of things, okay? It does a bunch of things. Shit.
A lot of bad exercise science, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some decent measurements being taken, particularly when they start looking at measuring stuff in muscles, right? Comparing strength, measuring muscles in the lab, measuring force production, DEXA scan.
I did this, measuring the force production. AR is responsible. Myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength, but not the mass of the limb muscles. Yeah, and muscles reach an MND size limit. Why? You get a structural damage when you first come into the gym. Why is that? And science will tell you, man. It's protected by the repeated bout effect phenomenon for many more repeated bouts because it's an adaptation process. And so that's why they tell you that widespread muscle damage is known, unaccustomed exercise is known to cause widespread muscle damage. It never says accustomed exercise. It doesn't say endurance training or chronic lifting causes this structural damage. It says unaccustomed, something that you do that is absolutely unaccustomed from the first time that you lifted in the gym. That first lift is not going to get you the same damage. I'm sorry, it's just never going to happen again. And it has to be so particular, this unaccustomed exercise, whatever it is, to get you this damage and get you an influx of these cells, some more of these fucking progenitor cells, to get the progenitor to donate some of its cells to that domain because it's beyond where it can donate it because it reached an MND size limit when you first come in. It is protected by the repeated bout effect phenomenon. Then you come in, you chronically lift, there's a second adaptation, goes in type 1. They call that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. You are an endurance athlete now, but you just don't realize it. So you're an endurance athlete, you're eating this carbohydrate, it's loading as glycogen, and you misconstrued that size as being strength, or that size as being muscle, when it's fake, it's artificial, like injecting oil in your muscles, okay? So it's just bullshit, okay? So any strength that you get, lifting strength, is due to a compensatory thing called the myocytic androgen receptors. They widen or you get more of them. That's about it, man. Shit.
MRIs on muscles, there can be some interesting trends found. And what's becoming interesting as technology gets better, we're seeing a growing trend There's a growing trend, a body of evidence.
Yeah, I'm the one that's putting out all the evidence. Hello? I'm the only one on the fucking internet. It gets tiring to keep bringing it up. Go look at the last video. I brought it up there, a bunch of sheets, okay? I'm not going to keep bringing it up in every video. It gets tiring. Look, there's two types of fucking hypertrophy, okay? If you don't know this. Where did that shit go, man? Fuck. There are two types of muscular hypertrophy. Myofibrilar, which is the increase in myofibrillars, and sarcoplasmic, which is the increase in glycogen storage. Okay, man? There's two types of fucking... I don't even know what this one is. What's this? I don't know what this one is. Yeah, the artificial shit. Okay, whatever.
Suggesting very much that at least at the tendon level, right? Not what you can do with coordination when you learn to coordinate multiple muscles.
Look, Blaha is adapted to all his exercises, all his lifts. There is absolutely zero muscle growth there. I'm talking about myofibrilar growth. It is zero, a zero. It is dead. It is never going on. It reached an M&D size limit. You call it newbie gains. Okay, man? It's dead. It's gone. He's never building fuck all. The only thing he built were these androgen receptors, which they could go away in 10 days if you leave the gym. It's garbage. You understand me? All factory workers get that. So they can adjust to the work that they're doing, the labor work. Your body compensates by adapting to these things in the environment. Like if you live in a mountain and there's like not enough oxygen, your body will adapt to it. Get it? It'll compensate by doing something for that. It'll compensate. Or if you're destroying your heart, maybe it'll make the heart bigger to protect itself. I don't know, man. But whatever your body's doing, it's for survival purposes. You were born with instincts to survive, and your body is made to keep you alive. And it will do whatever it takes to keep you alive. And it won't give you what you want, but it'll do what it wants to do, how it sees fit. You may not like that, but that's too bad. You better suck it up, bitch.
Together, like, again, it's not tendon level. That bench press is not a tendon level. I have multiple muscles involved, levers involved, right? Our individual leverages matter. That's why ranges of motion, joint angles, and all that stuff get real important on big exercises. But the ability of a muscle itself to be strong, the data is that they're...
The muscle itself gets strong. It's a chemical strength. When you start moving these heavy weights, there's these chemicals, they start being released to cause everything to become stronger through chemicals, man. It's chemicals, bro. It's chemicals. Your body's not going to put on any more muscle. Myofibrilar growth is fucking near almost impossible to put on. It's really fucking hard to put on. I'm telling you, it's near impossible for most people, okay?
Finding in the lab now really seem to suggest that...
Why do you think they take steroids to fake it? They love that cosmetic look. It looks beautiful. It looks even better than when you do it natural, okay? Natural, just no competition with cosmetics.
Growth and changes in the contractile proteins, what we think of as real hypertrophy, right? The really permanent hard muscle growth, right?
Yeah, what is that real permanent hard muscle growth? What is that exactly, Blaha?
So think of it that way, not just soft squish and cytoplasm, which is a little different. That would be more sarcoplasmic growth, or glycogen and water storage that can be
Cytoplasm is that what's made up of the cell. What are you talking about? That's made up of the cell. The sarcoplasm surrounds the cells. The cell itself is the cytoplasm. It has a nuclear domain size limit. It can't get any bigger. You need more of these cells and they get bigger. Duh. It's called hyperplasia.
Those can be trained, right? Those things don't seem to contribute. That can be some minor disparity in the size versus strength of a muscle.
Look, man, why is your fucking coach Blaha so stubborn? What the fuck is the matter with this motherfucker? Is he so fucking deranged, man? Can he fucking read those things in NCBI? Is he so retarded that he can't read? He has to fucking make up stuff. What's the matter with this fucking guy?
Okay. But what we are seeing on the other is that contractile tissue growth, what you would think of as actual real hypertrophy, muscle growth.
Contractile tissue growth? What the fuck?
Seems to be almost entirely and possibly the sole contributor of any changes in strength, good or bad, at the ability of the muscle to produce force down at the tendon.
That is not what the changes are in force production. It's the androgen receptors. They widen and you get more of them, somewhere for the androgens to bind. That's all. And these motor units, they proliferate through the muscle fibers. But right now, because he's a chronic lifter, they're in type 1. I'm not saying that the type 2 aren't working as well. There's some hybrid fibers there. There's a bunch of fibers there, hybrid, type 1, type 2. They're there, they're working. But there's more type 1 than the other ones. And so they protect the other ones from getting busted. That is their job. So they do not get damaged and they do not grow anymore. They don't get any more cells. The progenitor cell is not able to split, divide, and increase in number. They call that postmitotic. These muscle fibers are postmitotic. They do not split, divide, and increase in number. Only the satellite cell can do that. See what I mean? And these nuclei, the cells, the muscle cells do not split, divide, and increase in number. The progenitor cell does it. It does it, and it donates its nuclei, and it creates muscles. With the myoblasts and the fibroblast cells, whatever, they all fucking melt into each other.
And into the joint level, okay? Keep in mind, I'm talking about, again, that would be your triceps ability to bend the elbow, right? Doesn't mean the entirety of your ability to bench press. There's a coordination element to that.
Again, it is not impossible to get over MND size limit. It tells you in science that unaccustomed exercise is known to cause widespread muscle damage, even though the repeated bout effect protects muscle from repeated bouts of damage. I'm talking about repeated bout of damage of something that you've already done, that is, you're doing it over and over again. You understand me? You have to do something extremely extraordinary to that muscle to get it to damage. That's why they're telling you unaccustomed. You need to do something that is very unaccustomed to get that muscle to actually damage. Otherwise, it's not damaging. And the majority of 99% of the people in the gym are never doing things that they're that unaccustomed, that muscle's so unaccustomed to doing that now to get that damage. I know how to do that, but that's not my job to share that here. I'm simply stating what you're getting. I'm not telling what you should be doing or getting. That's not my job. I ain't a coach, bro. Don't ask me any questions. I don't know anything. This is for entertainment purposes only, okay?
Right? You've got to have some coordination between the muscles to do that. But when it's just a muscle contracting, when they lock it into a plane where it's a single joint movement where they can lock you in and test the force, oh yeah, that strength is hypertrophy.
I can tell you that I started trying to build real myofibrilar growth. I noticed one of the trainers walked in the gym. He stared at me now. He's on steroids. He took a very good look at me. And so did this other guy. They're looking at me now. And I noticed, even myself, when I looked in the mirror, I noticed a big difference already. I can see myofibrilar growth now. It's starting to really come out. Because I haven't done that type of stuff in years. You understand me? I haven't done any of that stuff. I was like you guys, just lifting for fun, coming to the gym because I had a neurological problem. That's why I was lifting. And then I decided making videos. Then there was COVID. There was too much interference. I just started now. I even had problems in the summertime. I couldn't even start properly. I had to take so much time off. And so I just started now doing it. And I noticed right away, I noticed the growth, man. I can see it because I'm on a pure carnivore diet. There's no carbohydrates, nothing. There's nothing interfering with me trying to get more myofibrillars, okay? So I can see it visually now. It's starting to come out. I can feel it. I feel stronger, better, faster. I don't know. It's just getting better all the time. Can you build muscle as an older person? You can build muscle anytime. You could be 100 and still build muscle. The progenitor cell is found to be active even in dead corpses. That satellite cell, they say, is active. They found it in dead corpses. The Stem cells are active. They're still active in the fibers. Yeah, even though the person's dead. So there you go, man. They don't just they regenerate you still. Their job is to do that, but they are diminishing with time. You need to increase that pool. That is a feat. That's why you want to build more myofibrilars, so you can increase the satellite cell pool so it doesn't diminish and you become an old man with a cane, like fucking Ronnie Coleman, okay? In a crutch, in a wheelchair.
And depending upon the data and how modern it is, it could be as low as 90%, and it could be as much as 100% of the force production. Which, if that's the case, and that really tells us the reality, there's very little difference between size and strength, at least in terms of the muscle fiber.
There is big difference between size and strength, okay? Big difference. But according to your strength, your natural, look, what is your natural strength compared to your practiced strength in the gym? You need to figure it out. But you've never written it down in a book when you first started, to see what your lifts were like naturally what you lifted and what you could lift when you're practicing. But it isn't based on any muscles. I'm telling you, because you gain very little muscle. You call it newbie gains in the beginning. Is not based on that. These are adaptations. Remember, your body, these are adaptations. Whatever it is you're doing there, it's an adaptation. That's how you have to see it, as an adaptation. If you want to get real myofibrillar growth, then you're going to have to figure out how to get the body to give you more of these adaptations. That's it. Okay?
Fiber itself. Okay? The muscle fiber. Now, leverages matter. How far you move away matters, of course.
No, none of those things truly matter. Say maybe somewhat.
Arms matter. Now, you can't see it as much on a bench press. You can't, because you can see the range of motion. I have a really long bench, and I'm also benching flyback. I have long arms. A longer arm, you can't curl as much weight. Okay? Even if you take two guys with the exact same size bicep, literally the same, like if you were to have transplant their biceps onto each other magically and have them work. Or you could just shorten the forearm, right?
The new $30 Platinum Instant Ticket has huge top prizes of $3 million.
I won!
I have no idea what he was talking about.
Or you could just shorten the forearm, right? A lot of that coordination of the best 5 rep maxes, because this is weights I can do for 5 sets of 5. That's not that heavy. That's more of a moderately heavy weight, right? Because they practice heavy work. But they might bench 330 with enough maxing.
Again, you need to practice. It's an adaptation process. You have to practice at lifting weights.
If their muscle mass stays really heavy loads, right? So let's be fair. They have a steeper learning curve, require more practice. But that's how you then maximize strength. But all the potential comes from the muscle growth, right?
Man, strength, it's relative. Wait, look, just because you're strong at doing these lifts, you may not be strong, and you definitely will not be strong at doing body weight exercises, like these crazy people doing planks and shit and whatever, okay? You're not going to do them just because you lifted a bunch of heavy weights. Or like Larry Wheels. I could lift 1,000 pounds, 900 pounds off the floor, 800, whatever. I can deadlift 800 pounds or 900 or whatever. But he can't win at arm wrestling. Why? Because it's an adaptation process. You understand me? It has nothing to do with lifting something heavy. It has to do with muscular strength in the arm. And it's practiced. It's practiced there, okay? It's practiced too. So it's an adaptation process. The people are adapting to arm wrestling. He's not an arm wrestler. He's a lifter. So, yeah, that's why people, calisthenics, fucking gymnastics, these, gymnastic people. And then you have, these weight lifters. Then you have Olympic lifters throwing weight up in the air, throwing it like it's a circus clown, waving it, throwing it up in the air, pretending, making up stuff, doing all these weird fucking exhibition acts. You understand me? No human can literally lift anything directly. They have to cheat at doing these things and make it appear that they're strong, when in fact, they're not that strong. Okay? Humans are one of the weakest animals on the planet. because we're not born strong. We're born weak, and we have to practice at doing these stupid things and getting these stupid adaptations, okay? And they go away fast because your body always wants to go back to what? Homeostasis. What does that mean, homeostasis? It means it wants to go back to its original state, which is your original state, which you're not satisfied with. That's why you're lifting, slave.
Because that's what gives you the ability to make the actual force at the tendon. The rest is just learning to use it and leverage it and coordinate it.
No, you're not learning to coordinate or do anything. Your body is adapting to doing these things. It's giving you adaptations. What would happen to you if your body didn't give you any adaptations, didn't give you these myocytic androgen receptors adapted everything to lifting these heavy weights? Then you wouldn't be able to lift them, now would you? Yeah, man.
So there's not as much difference between these as people think. And I'm not saying that the goals to train for each should be identical, because that's not true. That absolutely isn't true.
You should train for whatever it is that you want to aspire to get. If you don't train for that, don't complain about it. That's all I'm telling you. Don't complain. I reached a newbie gain. I reached a genetic limit, or I'm hard gainer. Stop complaining. Stop whining and crying like the bitches that you are out there. Get it, man? And go fucking find out what's going to give you those adaptations, all right? Stop whining and crying about people whine and cry about everything. Goddamn these days. You know, I'm telling you, it's fucking pathetic. That's why why do I have low testosterone? Why do you have low testosterone? Because you're fucking crashing it with lifting heavy weight. Heavy weight weakens you. It weakens you. It weakens your body, your production of your testosterone, everything. But people too stupid to understand that. Fuck, you're like, oh, it's a genetic thing. Oh, it's over time we're losing our testosterone and everything. No. You definitely are eating fucking these herbivore diets, which is not your natural diet. That's why you're fucking yourself. That is an adaptation process too. The body has to adapt to you eating poison all day. What do you think it's fucking doing there? If you poison your body all day with fucking sugar drugs and toxins and poisons made from like plants and shit and fruits and all this crappy carbohydrate shit and everything that you're doing, what the fuck do you think your body's trying to do? It has to adapt to keep you alive. You say, oh well, I'm almost diabetic. Insulin is through the roof. Insulin is through the roof, trying to remove that fucking sugar in there because you're fucking poisoning it. It's an adaptation process, bro. It increases insulin to remove the fucking sugar out of your fucking arteries because you're goddamn poisoning yourself. But people too stupid to realize that. Like this motherfucker, he's aging, lifting these fucking weights because it's an adaptation process. It's a defense mechanism. It keeps releasing growth hormone, and these hormones, they keep spiking, and they age you because you keep turning on the aging genes. Every time you do this heavy, crazy labor job work fucking that he's doing in his garage, you turn on the aging genes, motherfucker. Yeah, man, it's an adaptation process. You understand? Your body's trying to keep itself alive because you're destroying it.
But there's an enormous degree of overlap.
But one of the side effects is aging. You understand me? Fuck.
You remove substances from the end is obviously going to make the muscle fiber grow. Okay?
What? He said it's going to make the muscle fiber grow. What is?
Okay? And even a lot of these methods that do cause some is enormous. It's enormous. Because generally speaking, anything that makes the muscle fiber grow is going to make you stronger.
Anything that makes the muscle fiber grow is going to make you stronger. It's not growing because it reached an MND size limit. Now your job is to figure out how to get it to the second level, maybe the third level if you're lucky. I don't know. I can't tell you. I did tell you. I know that damage is protected. It's based on damage. It's not based on I'm going to build muscle in a gym. It's not based on getting a pump. It's based on fucking damaging muscles so that the progenitor cell can split, divide, and increase in number. That's how you're able to further that domain. The problem is it's protected by something called repeated bout effect phenomena. Your job is to get over it. Okay, so they tell you in science that you need to unaccustomed exercise is known to cause widespread muscle damage. Okay, so go fucking find out what that unaccustomed shit is that's going to cause that widespread muscle damage. And then if it doesn't work a second time, if it does work the first time, doesn't work the second time, then you need to figure out why it's not working the second time. You understand me? Maybe it's something you're doing. You need to be maybe more unaccustomed to doing that. I don't know. It's something you need to fucking figure out. All right?
Anything that makes you stronger through any process other than the coordination in is obviously going to make the muscle fiber grow.
No, it's not. Anything that makes you stronger is an adaptation process. Do you understand me? It's an adaptation process. It's not going to make the muscle grow. The only time that muscle will grow is through an adaptation process. I just told you, if you are a 600-pound man, your muscle is forced. It is forced now to grow, and the bone to accommodate you to carry that 600-pound fat blubber body. Get it? That's all. It's really simple. Just because you're lifting weights in the gym, there's not enough of this gravitational loading. It won't work. There's not enough gravitational loading. You need to walk around with that barbell on your back all day. You'd have to walk with it for hours on your back to get any type of adaptation and gravitational loading. Yeah, man, it's complicated. You won't do it. It's hard. And these Chinese movies, kung fu, they try to do that all the time. They show you some dude walking for miles with like 2 buckets of water, and then they show him he's super strong and everything, moving around with these buckets everywhere, a bar across his shoulders. Yeah, I don't know. Are you willing to do that? Look, I've seen these guys moving bananas and carrying heavy shit from ships across land. They all look small and weak to me, but they carry shit all day. They look like slaves, lifting slaves. And they look old because they're accelerated aging, lifting the shit around. Because it has to be consistent weight on your body. It can't be, it doesn't work that way, bro. It doesn't work, bro. Anyways, I don't know what else to say there, man.
Okay. And even a lot of these methods that do cause some pump and other stuff, and there may be other factors involved, they still are
They do cause some pump. It's all sarcoplasmic.
going to potentially cause some muscle fiber growth.
Yeah, it will cause the muscle to grow. Glycogen will cause the muscle to grow. Through glycogen, it's an artificial growth, like a bicycle pump.
Okay. There's going to be some.
I like how he keeps telling you, there's got to be something there, but look at him. He's got no muscle growth. He has nothing. He looks the way he looks, an old man with a bald head.
The idea here is that people get way too dogmatic in the separations between these two when there isn't nearly as much as people think that there is. And it's for reasons that they're not grasping. The differences are not
They're not grasping the differences is because they don't know that it's an adaptation process.
the differences that people think that they are. Right? All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say.
Me too. Thank God, man. This is driving me nuts. I'll see you in the next one. Tell you to think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one, man. Muscle fiber growth may be the only factor in strength of each individual. I don't think so, bro. I'll see you later.